What's up everyone? Welcome to today's video. If you're new here, my name's Ben Richardson. I'm a personal trainer. I'm also a chemical engineer. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about how to lean bulk so that you can lose fat and build muscle at the same time. If you're new here, I want you to subscribe to my channel because it's going to teach you how to live a healthy life through sustainable nutrition. So hit that subscribe button and don't forget to turn the notification bells on too so that you don't miss out on any of my latest content. So by the time you're finished done watching this video, you'll have all the tools that you need to lose fat and build muscle at the same time so that you can reveal a truly breathtaking physique. And if you listen to all of the content in this video and use it at the same time, you're going to get the best and fastest results. So make sure you stick around for the whole thing. Let's go ahead and dive in. So the problem with most bulking protocols is that people will set out to build muscle and get stronger by eating a lot more food, and they don't really pay attention to how much more food they eat. They just kind of go crazy with the food. And normally what happens is they will end up getting stronger. They build a pretty good amount of muscle, but they also get fatter too. They gain a lot of fat, and you don't want that. You want all of the weight that you gain on a lean bulk to be pure muscle. So to do this, you have to still pay attention to the food that you put into your mouth every single day. You still have to monitor your eating habits, and you have to track the foods that you eat. I recommend downloading MyFitnessPal and using that to track your calories, log your calories, and you also want to stick to a proper macronutrient split too. Now, the amount of calories that you're going to need to eat really depends on how much weight that you want to gain, how much you currently weigh right now, but I think anywhere in the ballpark of 2,500 to 3,000 calories, that's a pretty good range to start in for a lean bulk. Now, concerning the macronutrient split, this is very important, and this is where a lot of people screw up because a lot of people seem to have a misunderstanding about protein. They seem to think that their diet has to be primarily protein, but really carbohydrates play a much more important role into building muscle and building strength than protein does. Protein is certainly very important, and you need enough protein so that you can build muscle and that you can synthesize muscle for sure, but you don't need as much as you probably think you do. Some people are out here eating 200 plus grams of protein per day when they go on some kind of bulking protocol, and that's just way too much because when you eat that much, you're really eating into the amount of carbs and even fats that you can consume in your diet, and all three macronutrients are very crucial for building muscle, feeling good, maintaining proper hormone regulation. Other benefits that play into adhering to a proper macronutrient ratio are things like improved mood, better energy levels throughout the day, better sex drive, better sleeping patterns. You're just all in all going to feel a lot better when you adhere to a proper macronutrient split. So for lean bulking, the macronutrient split that I recommend is 25% protein, 25% fat, and 50% carbs. Yes, I absolutely do want you to consume that many carbs because that's how much more important carbohydrates are in your diet if you're trying to build strength and build muscle. Carbs play a much more important role into that than protein does. Now, the great thing about tracking your calories and adhering to a proper macronutrient ratio is that you can eat whatever you want as long as you hit those numbers. Just follow your calories, hit your calories. That's what's going to matter the most. If you're not in a calorie surplus, there's no way that you can build muscle. And then hit your macronutrient ratio as well, because when you hit your macronutrient ratio, you're going to feel good. And if you feel good while you're on this lean bulk dieting protocol, then you're going to keep going and you're going to be able to easily sustain it. However, with the lean bulk, I don't want you to go too crazy in calories and too crazy in terms of just not paying attention to the foods that you're putting into your mouth. Because here's the thing. It's very difficult to go on a bulk and not gain fat. If you want all of the weight that you gain to be pure muscle, that you need to understand that's a difficult thing to do. And to accomplish a difficult task like that, you're still going to have to maintain some baseline of discipline. So you are going to need to continue to track your calories, and you are going to need to do the best that you can to hit your macronutrient split. Now, if you really want to make sure that you don't gain any fat while you're on this lean bulking protocol, I recommend do something as simple as get 10,000 steps in per day on your rest days. If you're not hitting the gym or going to the gym on a given day and it's your rest day, try to get 10,000 steps in per day. The great thing about just walking more in general is that you're going to burn a few extra 100 calories, and it's not going to have any kind of effect on your appetite. So another mistake when people go on a lean bulk, again, the whole idea of a lean bulk is all the weight that you gain is you want it to be muscle mass. You don't want to gain any fat. And so to do that, a lot of people will start to eat more food, but they'll also increase the amount of cardio that they do in an attempt to keep fat off. But the problem is that most forms of cardio, things like running and doing the elliptical, using the stationary bike, and just doing that for 30 minutes to an hour, the problem with that is it's almost guaranteed to increase your appetite, depending on how often that you do it. And that's why I just don't recommend that you do these types of cardio, because when you do that, inevitably your appetite is going to increase and you're going to get hungrier. You're going to start eating more food because eventually you're just going to have to rely on sheer willpower to keep going, and you're going to fail eventually. You're going to fall off the wagon eventually, and you're just going to go crazy on food, and that's inevitably going to spill over into a large calorie surplus, and you're going to gain fat, and you don't want that. So if you really want to do a good job keeping fat off while you're following this lean bulk protocol, I do recommend getting 10,000 steps in per day on days that you do not work out. And if you can't get outside, do something as simple as just go for a walk on the treadmill at the gym. That's a great option, especially if the weather isn't exactly cooperating. Plus, another advantage to using a treadmill at the gym is you can increase the incline on which you're walking, and that will usually, at least to some degree, help you burn a few extra calories. So to just kind of recap as far as what you should be doing, download the MyFitnessPal, absolutely. The MyFitnessPal app, that's a very powerful app. Almost any food that you can possibly imagine is in that app. Just go into the search function and search for anything, and something will pop up. And that's the thing about tracking foods that you eat, is it's always better to guess. It's always better to try to get some kind of understanding of how many calories are in a given food that you're about to eat. It's better to do that than to just say, oh, well, I don't know how many calories are in this food, so I'm just not going to track it, but I'm going to eat it anyway. That's probably the number one dieting mistake that I see, whether you're trying to lean bulk, whether you're trying to lose weight, whatever it is. That's the number one nutrition habit failure that I see constantly. So download MyFitnessPal because you can find anything on there. You can also set up your calories and your macronutrient ratio on MyFitnessPal, and you don't need the premium version. You can use the free version, and that in and of itself is plenty for you to get a good grasp on your nutritional habits. So you can go in there and set up a calorie range anywhere between 2,500 to 3,000 calories. For most people, that'll be a pretty good range for a lean bulking protocol. It just kind of depends on, first off, how much you weigh, and second off, how quickly you want to gain progress. If you think that, if you're really worried about gaining fat while you're on a lean bulk, don't go as high as 3,000. But I mean, if you don't really care, or you're still really young and your metabolism is very high, you can go as high as 3,000. There's really no need to limit yourself to the lower end. And then for your macronutrient ratio, I'd recommend 25% protein, 25% fat, and 50% carbs, because carbs are super, super important in terms of building strength and building muscle mass. So you definitely want to ramp up your carb intake while you're lean bulking. So those are all my tips for this lean bulk protocol. Follow all these tips in this video and you will easily be able to lose fat and build muscle at the same time. And here's the thing, you are going to reveal a truly breathtaking physique if you follow this protocol. When you know how to bulk up and all the weight that you gain is just muscle, you're not gaining any fat. When you do that, you're going to be looking good, because muscle mass looks good on people, men and women. I mean, men, it looks good in their upper bodies. Women, it looks good in their lower bodies. So it doesn't matter. You're going to be looking good if you know how to bulk without gaining any fat, because that's what you want at the end of the day. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And again, if If you're new here, I want you to subscribe to my channel because I'm going to teach you how to master your eating habits and your nutrition for the rest of your life. So go ahead and subscribe because I do post content like this every single week. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you got a lot out of this. Make sure you implement all of these tactics into your routine for the best and the fastest results. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.